President Trump's remarkable strength and resolve in a terrifying moment. The president rose brilliantly to the challenge. But what a sad and frightening day for the families of those who were injured or lost, and for our great country. Thank God that President Trump is okay. I'm a seventh-generation Pennsylvanian from the great Keystone State, born and raised. Point graduate, a former Army wrestler. I'm a combat veteran of the 82nd Airborne Division. All right, 82nd. In Western Pennsylvania. But most important, I'm a dad to 6 daughters, Casey. But you probably don't know him because he does nothing. For 18 years, Bob Casey has been warming a chair and drawing a paycheck. He is a do-nothing, out-of-touch, liberal career politician. And when he votes for Joe Biden's tired old ideas. Casey's been around so long that the #1 song when he was first elected was the Macarena. They won't keep us safe. Drugs have poured across the Biden-Harris, Casey wide-open borders, killing 100,000 Americans, including 4,000 Pennsylvanians last year alone. Immigrants have victimized innocent young women who could easily be your daughter or mine. And time again, Casey has voted for pro-criminal judges who have made our streets across Pennsylvania more dangerous. Policies have crushed working families with sky-high prices for gas and groceries and rent, and regulations to kill Pennsylvania natural gas. Under President Trump, America was strong and prosperous, and our adversaries feared stepping out of line. My friends, the choice this November is clear. It's a choice between strength, a choice between America's greatness, or its sad, disgraceful decline. This is, my friends, the most important election of our lifetimes. And we deserve a president and a Senate that will go to the mat to fight for America. A president and a Senate that will unite America. Yeah, that means voting for Trump and McCormick in November. Thank you all for leading the charge. God bless our United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome West Virginia Governor and the next Senator from West Virginia, Jim Justice, Baby Dog.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Justice, and I'm from West Virginia. And I absolutely believe with all my soul we've got the greatest people in the world in West Virginia. And we want you to come, and a lot of you want to meet my little buddy. And said, let me just say just this. She makes us smile, and she loves everybody. And how could the message possibly be any more simple? Just this. The foundation of my life is the truth. I've got to tell you just this and tell you this right now. I challenge the media all the time to find something that knowingly is not the truth, and they can't do it because I'm not going to do that. Now, I want you to listen to this and pay really close attention. The bottom line to why we're here, every single thing that's going on in this great country today is one thing. We become totally unhinged if Donald Trump is not elected in November. I want to talk to you tonight about my relationship with President Trump. I want to talk to you about an incredible man. I want to tell you his family. He's tough. He's super smart. He's a business guy. But maybe there's something that you've missed, and that is he genuinely cares. He cares for every last one of us, and he loves this nation beyond good sense. He has amazing kids. I've hunted and fished with Don Jr. He's an incredible outdoorsman and a really treasured friend. Now imagine this. And I have been so far back in the woods on top of a mountain, and I blew the tire out on the back of my 4x4, and who was under the vehicle right then? Eric Trump. Eric Trump changed the tire. Donald kids the very best. He's taught them absolutely to respect the military. He's taught them to respect our first responders. He's taught them absolutely to treat our men and women with love and respect all across this land. Let me tell you just this. I was in the green room at Trump, and there was a MAGA hat laying there. I picked it up. We had just had our first grandbaby, a boy named JC. JC absolutely was just not old at all. And all of a sudden I asked President Trump if he would sign that hat for our grandbaby JC. He took it. You know what he wrote on it? He wrote, JC, always work hard. Now let's review. Donald J. Trump, my friend, my close friend. He's tough. He's super smart. He's a business guy. He loves America. He taught his kids the right, and he's a hard worker. Sure sounds like a leader to me. Sure sounds like a president to me. Then ask yourself, why does Donald Trump pay for us and continue to take this senseless persecution? Why? And I know the answer. Because we're worth it. Now, Baby Doll's got a prediction for everybody here. And here's the prediction. Baby Dog says, we'll retain the House, the majority in the House. We're going to flip the United States Senate. And we're going to elect Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance in November. Baby Dog says, what is the reason that she knows why we're going to win? And the answer is one thing, because we're worth it. God bless you, this great country, and God bless Donald J. Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome the next senator from Indiana, Congressman Jim Banks.
Thank you. I don't know about you, but thank God baby dogs are... Thank you, fellow Republicans, and thank you to the great state of Indiana for making me your nominee to be the next United States Senator. Only in America could a kid like me, who was born in a trailer park, the son of a factory worker, and end up here. I'm Jim Banks, and I have lived the American dream, and I'm proud of it. The difference today between Republicans and Democrats is that we believe America is the greatest country in the history of the world. But they don't. I got to tell you, as an Afghanistan war veteran, I've never been more ashamed than when Joe Biden's disastrous withdrawal left 30 rows dead, and then he lied about it. Americans want a president who is proud of their country and who they can be proud of. An embarrassment. We went from the strongest president of my lifetime and President Trump to the weakest president in history in Joe Biden. We need President Trump back in the White House if we're going to make great once again. But ladies and gentlemen, he's going to need backup in the United States Senate. This is no time, wimpy Republicans. That's why I'm running. We'll start by securing the border. If you came here illegally under Joe Biden, you're going back to where you came from under Donald Trump. My dad was a Union Democrat for most of his life. Today, he's a Trump Republican. Because my dad knows that President Trump will always win workers first. Trump was the first president of my lifetime to hold China accountable for taking our jobs. He brought manufacturing to Indiana and boosted wages for hardworking Hoosiers. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump saved the American dream. But if we have Biden for 4 more years, that dream won't be. So we are going to take our country back for them, for your children, for your grandchildren, for every American. My friends, I can't wait for November 5th at 6:01 p.m. Eastern Time, when the great state of Indiana is once again the first state on the board to give our Electoral College votes to the greatest president of my friend, Donald J. Trump. Thank you. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome Captain Sam Brown, the next senator from Nevada.
Thank you. I want to start by thanking for my life. I want to thank my wife for her strength, for her courage and her support in this race. And back home, I want to thank my children. I do this for many reasons, and you are part of that mission. Tonight, I offer a message of hope, because I know the importance of hope in difficult times. On and diesel and burning, I never lost hope. And I stand before you. I stand before you today as a Republican nominee for Nevada. America, I served you as a soldier, you again. As a U.S. Senator, I will proudly stand alongside Donald Trump to make America affordable, safe, and strong again. We have a tough fight ahead, but it won't be my first. Nevadans are suffering right now. The unemployment rate in Nevada is nearly 25% higher than the national. The Biden-Harris economy might be fine for millionaires like Senator Jackie Rosen, but it's terrible for Nevadans struggling with inflation and high prices. Yet Jackie and Joe want to raise your taxes while dodging their. I'll work with President Trump to cut taxes for working families and end taxes on tips for struggling Nevada service workers. Because life must be affordable for millions, not just millionaires. Finally, look at my face. This is the high cost of war. If Joe Biden stays in office, service members will pay this price. He has brought our nation humiliation, defeat, and to the brink of more war. I've been through the fire. Trump has been through the fire. But hope has not been extinguished. It is reignited. And we are more united than ever to save America's future. On November 5th, I ask Nevadans to vote Sam Brown for Senate and Donald Trump for President. Together, we will put America first again. I want to close with those same words I heard on the battlefield. America, I've got you. May God bless President Trump. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next senator from Montana, Tim Sheehy.
Hey, Montana, how's it going? Hey, everybody, my name is Tim Sheehy. Those are also my pronouns. I've been a he-she for 38 years, and going to elementary school with that name in the 80s was not fun. That is a joke, but it also shows the lunacy we're living with in Joe Biden and John Tester's America. I'm a former Navy SEAL. My wife, we both fought in our nation's longest war in Afghanistan. I was wounded there, served hundreds of missions there. We came home to live the American dream in Montana, I'd add. And we started an aerial firefighting company in our barn. We created hundreds of jobs protecting our public lands and protecting fellow Montanans from devastating wildfires. I fight wildfires. For me, the world is on fire under Joe Biden. Consider for a minute Biden's disgraceful retreat from Afghanistan, when he let our enemies steal billions of dollars of our equipment and kill 13 brave American service members. There has been zero accountability, none. And that's why I'm running for the United States Senate in Montana, to bring back accountability to our government and beat John Tester, the liberal Washington politician who votes with Biden and Kamala every single. And some of you may not know who John Tester is, but John Tester is the deciding vote for Biden's America Last agenda. He's got an F from, he's voted to open our borders, unleash inflation, and he even put a liberal judge on the Supreme Court who can't even define what a woman is. And even drives a, yeah. Priuses don't work in Montana, do they? John Tester doesn't represent Montanans. He's a rubber stamp for Biden's failed presidency and extreme liberal agenda, and it's time to retire them both. And listen, I'm an optimist. You can't jump out of planes at night into enemy territory if you're not. And I truly believe America's future will be better than our past. But that future is not given, and we need political our nation. And what Montanans think is common sense is pretty simple. It's not complicated. Girls are bad, boys are boys, girls are girls. And I'm ready to retire John Tester and take back the United States Senate. And I'm ready to join you in sending President Donald J. House. Let's save America. We've got a lot of work to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next senator from Virginia, Hung Cao.
That's the last sound my parents heard when they were taken away in the middle of the night, and they never saw them again. That's my family's real-life story. We escaped from Vietnam just days before Saigon fell to the communists. We were given a new life in the most generous country on earth. My name's Hung Cao, and America saved my life. I grabbed onto the American dream. I graduated from the United States Naval Academy, but I paid back every dime of that American dream with 20 service in Navy Special Operations. Combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. I retired as captain of the United States Navy, and now I stand before you as a Republican nominee for the United States Senate in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Only in America, ladies and gentlemen, only in America. But we're losing our country. Under Joe Biden, millions of illegal aliens flood our borders. They fly Hamas flags on our campus, and they shout death to America. As an immigrant to this great country, let me be very clear to everyone who comes here. Don't ask for the American dream if you're not willing to obey the American laws and embrace the American culture. Hillary's running mate, Senator Tim Kaine. Kaine is a weak mayor, signed our paychecks for 30 years. Except Kaine is a career politician with millions of dollars to show for it. I've been a warrior with scars to prove it, and I'm damn proud of it. In November, the left will vote for the hatred of one man. We, love of God, love of family, and love for the greatest nation on earth. And Virginia will elect me and President Trump, and together we will save America. My name is Hung Cao. I'm the next senator from the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I'm not done fighting for us. May God bless you, may God bless President Trump, and may God bless the United States of America.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator Rick Scott of Florida.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can tell I'm from the great state of Florida. Well, the Democrats couldn't stop him. The media couldn't stop him. The liberal judges couldn't stop him. A bullet from a madman couldn't stop him. Can anything stop Donald Trump from becoming the next president and making America great again? I've known Donald since before each of us ran for office, and it's an honor to be here to do everything I can to get him reelected back in the White House where he should belong every day going forward. Now, like all of you, I'm blessed. I was born, I grew up in public housing. I started working at the age of 7. I enlisted in the U.S. Navy at the age of 18. Go Navy. But only because I grew up in America, I was able, like many of you, to come from absolutely nothing to build one of the biggest companies in the world, be the 45th governor of Florida, a U.S. senator, where we have to fight every day to stop the radical from absolutely destroying our great country. They will lose, we will win. USA. We will win. Now, let me tell you about a dream I had recently. I had a dream, and I traveled into the future to an imaginary world where actually Joe Biden got reelected. Yeah. Remember the Christmas Carol, The Ghost of Christmas Past? Well, in my dream, I met the ghost of Biden's future. So I got to see a Biden second term. Now, it wasn't a dream, it was a nightmare. Mortgage rates skyrocketed to 15%. Only rich people could buy groceries. Gas was $10 a gallon. In my nightmare, Biden and the Democrats erased our southern border and flew so many illegals into our country that the mail started getting frequent flyer miles. It was easy for Democrats to rig the elections. They simply allowed all the non-citizens to vote. America did nothing to protect Israel from terrorists or to stop China. Now, do any of you think this is far-fetched? No. If you do, you haven't been following it. Biden and the Democrats are doing everything they can to tear down this great country and rebuild it in their woke, radical image. Their dream's not new. It's an old, evil idea that has failed every time it's been tried. It's called socialism. And Donald J. Trump will not let socialism happen in this country. Think about it. Under Trump, we had a booming economy. We weren't at war. Our enemies feared us. Our allies respected us. We had a secure border. Inflation and mortgage rates were low. And families had money in the bank. Donald Trump has given up a lot for this country. His family's been slandered. He's been impeached, censored, all because he never backs down. This week he's shown the courage all of us should display as we rally around him to risk our great country. So, let's fight, 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 and make sure Donald Trump gets reelected. Have a great night. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joe. Tonight I want to tell you my story. I am a proud Republican, but I haven't always been a Republican. I was in offices in South Jersey and eventually was sent to the United States Congress, all of them as a conservative Democrat. Along the way, I noticed that I didn't like what the Democrats had become as a party. But more, I didn't like what the Democratic Party was doing to our great United States of America. to the independents, to the forgotten Democrats out there, for a moment I want to speak to you. I know how you feel tonight, because that's how I felt back in 2019. You feel like your party has left you behind, because it has. Like your party doesn't care about American workers and American working families, because it doesn't. And you are worried that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are hurting our country, because they are. I felt the same way. So after being a Democrat to vote against impeaching Donald Trump, I took a long walk with my chief of staff. I remember saying to her that perhaps my time in elected office was done. And you know what? I was okay with that. There was no way I could be a Democrat anymore. But then I received a call from the White House. President Trump asked me to meet with him. We spoke about family, freedom, and friendship. He has been my good friend ever since that day. He said that I should be a Republican. I said, Mr. President, I will be a Republican. He would stick by me, and he always has. Ladies and gentlemen, after the tragic shooting last Saturday, we need to come together. All of us, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, we need to be the shining city on the hill, a nation that empowers us to do extraordinary things. We will conquer new challenges. We will reach new heights. And we will blaze new trails of greatness. We will make America great again. And we will elect Donald Trump this November. Now I have a question for you, and I'll give you the answer. The answer is yes, but we want to hear your answer from the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world. Do this. Will we win in November? Will we win in November? God bless you. God bless Donald. And God bless the greatest country that ever existed on the face of the earth, the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chair of the United States House of Representatives, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York.
That this is the most important election in our lifetime, but we know this one truly is. Our Constitution and the soul of our very nation are on the ballot. Under Joe Biden, the American people have suffered crisis after crisis. From the Biden border, the most wide-open border in our nation's history, the highest rate of inflation in my lifetime, devastating hardworking families with skyrocketing prices for groceries, gas, and utilities, to Biden's violent crime crisis, fueled by Democrats' pro-sanctuary cities and defund the police policies like we have seen in my home state of New York. All while corrupt Democrat prosecutors and judges wage illegal, and unconstitutional lawfare in Trump in an effort to do Joe Biden's political bidding. And around the world, the feckless and failed Joe Biden has caused chaos, weakening our national security. From the catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan, to Putin's invasion of Ukraine, to Hamas's terrorist attack against our most precious ally, Israel. Question: what has been the response from the radical left on our college campuses? Vile anti-Semitism, chanting death to Israel, death to Jews, death to America. This is Joe Biden. Who saw that congressional hearing with the college presidents of so-called elite universities? Oh, wait, they are former presidents. You know, I asked one simple question at that hearing. It was not a political question. It was a moral question, and that was this. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate your university's code? And one after the other, said it depends on the context. Let me tell you, America knows it does not depend on the context. President Trump will bring back moral leadership to the White House, condemning anti-Semitism and standing strong with Israel and the Jewish people. President Trump will once again deliver the most secure border in our nation's history and unleash the American economy. And he will bring peace through strength as Commander-in-Chief, standing with our allies and causing our enemies to fear us. President Trump has done it before, and he will do it again. This November, we are counting on you, we the people, to save America by electing President Donald J. Trump. It is clear for the whole world to see nothing, absolutely nothing will stop President Trump from fighting for our great country. And I have been proud to always stand in the breach during the toughest moments for President Trump, from leading the charge against illegal impeachments, to standing for election integrity, to unifying House Republicans, to proudly being the first member of Congress to endure re-election. And as we embark on the difficult path ahead to save America, call upon Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. We'll never give up on President Trump, and we will never give up on the United States of America. God bless you, God bless President Donald J. Trump, and God bless the United States of America.
Gentlemen, please welcome the Majority Whip of the United States House of Representatives, Congressman Tom Emmer of Minnesota.
How about that, Stefanik? Thank you. Thank you. I'm Tom Emmer, a proud American and a proud Minnesotan, and the Majority Whip in the United States. In 2022, Americans elected our House Republican majority to stop the Biden-Harris agenda. In spite of having one of the smallest majorities in history, House Republicans have held the line. We fought back against the Democrats' reckless spending that imposed record-breaking inflation on the hardworking Americans. We passed bills such as the Lower Energy Costs Act and the Rein-in Inflation Act to counteract Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's failed economic agenda and to restore some fiscal sanity to Washington. We ended the vaccine mandate in our military. We passed over a dozen bills gutting specific Biden-Harris regulations. We passed the Parents' Bill of Rights, the Chinese Communist Party. We stopped the D.C. crime bill that would have made our nation's capital simply too dangerous to visit. And we passed the strongest borders in decades. Get ready, because when we grow our majority, when we flip the Senate, and when we send President Donald J. Trump, we won't just be holding the line anymore, we'll be moving forward. We will turn America First principles into law. Minnesotans can't afford 4 more years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's right. Which is why I'm confident that we will make history this November when Minnesota red for the first time in 50 years. The Democrats' disastrous record on crime has ruined the lives of countless Minnesotans. When Minneapolis was in flames and businesses were in ruins, Kamala Harris encouraged and enabled the criminals and the rioters. She even promoted a fund to release the criminals from jail. It doesn't get reported much in our media, but one criminal Kamala Harris freed in Minneapolis went on to murder a man in St. Paul, Minnesota. Donald Trump stands with the people and the police, our men and women in blue, not with the criminals and the rioters. Trump also fought for Minnesota workers and farmers, fighting back against Chinese trade abuses, ending NAFTA, and replacing it with the USMCA. Joe Biden voted for NAFTA and China's entry into the WTO, stating Minnesota's economy. And Kamala Harris, she opposed tariffs on China. Of course, when they aren't outsourcing our jobs through bad trade deals, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are destroying them through taxes and regulation. They are America last. But next year, Donald Trump, with the support of Trump majorities in the House and Senate, will put America first again. Thank you. And I'm confident that together we are going to make America great again. God bless you. May God continue to bless Donald Trump and his family, and God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Majority Leader of the United States, Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana.
God bless each and every one of you. I'm House Majority Leader, great state of Louisiana. Now, I was born in New Orleans, so I've seen some crazy things in my time. But New Orleans has nothing on Washington, D.C. these past 4 years. Joe Biden spent your tax dollars trashing America's finances in ways no sane or sober-minded person ever would. Let's talk energy. They've eroded the American energy dominance that President Trump delivered. Joe Biden approved the pipeline for Russia, but he killed the Keystone Pipeline here at home. Thousands of American jobs gone. It doesn't end there. Biden and Venezuela export their oil, but he stopped liquefied natural gas exports here in America. President Biden's not done. President Biden waived taxes on Chinese solar panels, but he raised taxes on Americans. When we When we elect Donald Trump as our next president and expand our Republican House majority, we will end the Democrats' assault on American energy once and for all. Now let's look at taxes. Biden and Harris want a $5 trillion tax hike. In our first 100 days, President Trump and a Republican majority will make the Trump tax cut. And yes, we will end taxes on tips and deliver another tax cut for working families. Border. Biden and Harris opened it up to the entire world. Prisons are being emptied. President Trump and a Republican majority will repass H.R. 2, the strongest border security in decades. We will lock down the border, and yes, we will finish building the wall. On voting, our most sacred right as citizens, voting. Biden and Harris want illegals to vote now that they've opened up the border. Republicans will repass the SAVE Act to block illegals. On foreign policy, Biden and Harris brought us weakness and war. President Trump and a Republican majority will begin rebuilding our military, a woke indoctrination in its ranks. We will restore American power and peace. On education, Biden and Harris oppose school choice. They actually invest in parents at school boards. President Trump and a Republican majority will pass legislation expanding school choice and will repass the Parents' Bill of Rights. Parents should be free to choose what their children are taught and where. I need to say something about that while I was member.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Mike Johnson of Louisiana.
Good evening, my friends. What an amazing crowd, and what a great time it is to unite our party and to send President Donald Trump back to the White House. That's what we're going to do. But we're not just uniting as Republicans. We're uniting today as Americans in the wake of the assassination attempt on the life of President Trump. Everyone hear me clearly and listen to me at home and make no mistake. The House is conducting a thorough investigation of these tragic events. And that work has already begun. The American people deserve to know the truth, and we will accountability. I promise you that. I promise you that. This has always been an important principle to us. We in the Republican Party are the law and order team. We always have been, and we always will be, the advocates for the rule of law. We all know that that principle, as well as many others, is in serious jeopardy today. See, we've come to a moment in America where the basic things that we once took for granted are being openly challenged like never before. My friends, we are no longer just in opposing political parties. We are, but it's not just ours versus D's anymore. We're now in the midst of a struggle between two completely different visions of who we are as Americans and what our country. The Republican Party stands for the foundational truths that made America the greatest nation in the history of the world. We are the most free, the most powerful, the most benevolent nation that has ever been. It's not even close. It's not even close. We have no guarantee that this grand experiment in self-governance can endure unless we respond to the call to keep it. 248 years ago, we boldly proclaimed in our Declaration that all men are created equal, not born equal, created equal. and that we're endowed with certain inalienable rights. See, we understand that our rights do not come from government. They come from God. There's another thing that we recognize. We recognize that we are made in His image. And because of that, every single person's dignity and value. And your value is not related in any way to the color of your skin, what zip code you live in, where you come from, what your talents are, or what you can contribute to society. Your value is inherent by your Creator. That's what we stand for. I speak a lot about what I call the 7 core principles of American conservatism. 4 as Republicans they want to know. I think it boils down to a few things: individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, dignity. Indeed, those are the 7 core principles of American conservatism, but they're actually the core principles of our republic itself. And while they resonate in our hearts, and in the hearts of most Americans, listen to me, the radical, woke, progressive left has disdain for those, right? They have a very different vision for what America should become. They want to tear down those foundations and remold us into some sort of borderless, lawless, Marxist, socialist utopia. We're here to say, not on our watch. Don't allow that to happen. It was just 3 weeks ago that Kelly and I dropped off our oldest son at the Naval Academy. That's right. In 4 years, and he'll join the 1.3 million active duty service members who bravely defend our country. We're so proud of Jack and all our children, but like most parents today, we're concerned about their future. 4 more years of Joe Biden's weakness that has invited so much aggression by our enemies. We can't survive the dramatic increases in violence, crime, and drugs that the Democrats' policies have brought up. And we cannot, my friends, we're watching the principles of faith, fateful battle of ideas, my friends, and we have to recognize that. But in this battle, and in November, the American people will reject the party of self-destruction, and they will elect the party of peace and prosperity. The GOP will grow our House majority, we will take back the Senate, and we will return Donald J. Trump to the White House. Standing arm in arm, we will make America safe again. Listen, we reach out tonight to everyone watching at home. We invite all Americans who believe in the promise of our great nation to join us in this fateful battle. We can and we will reverse this current decline. We can restore our founding principles, and we can preserve this exceptional nation that God has entrusted of man on the earth. Thank you so much. God bless you, God bless our troops, and God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome businessman Vivek Ramaswamy of Ohio.
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's good to be back in Milwaukee. This time last year, I was a candidate for U.S. president, and I'm proud to say that I achieved the impossible, which is that most of you actually know how to say my name. So thank you for that. It's good to be back. We're in the middle of a national identity crisis right now. Faith, patriotism, hard work, and family have only to be replaced by race, gender, sexuality, and climate. But we're not going to win this election just by criticizing the other side. We're going to win this by standing for our own vision. We really are. What does it mean to be a Republican in the year 2024? What does it mean to be an American in the year 2024? It means we believe in the ideals of 1776. It means we believe in merit, that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. Your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we will seal the southern border on day one. Thank you. It means the people who we elect ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not unelected bureaucrats in the deep state. These are not black ideas or white ideas. They are American ideas that we fought a revolution to secure. And the man who will revive these ideals in the United States of America is your next president, the 47th president of the United States, Trump. If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this Trump. If you want to reignite the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive the one the media won't talk about, but it's the truth. Donald Trump is the president who will actually unite this country. That's who we are as Americans. That's who we've always been. To those of you watching this at home tonight, I'd like to deliver a message that the media doesn't want you to hear from the Republican Party. Our message to black Americans is this. The media has tried to convince you for decades that Republicans don't care about your communities, but we do. We want for you what we want for every American. Safe neighborhoods, clean streets, good jobs, a better life for your children, and a justice system that treats everyone equally, regardless of your skin color, of your political beliefs. Our message to every legal immigrant in this country: you're like my parents. You deserve the opportunity to secure a better life for your children in America. But our message to illegal immigrants is also this: we will return you to your country of origin, not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America is founded on the rule of law. War and the 2008 financial crisis, loading up our national debt that falls on our generation's shoulders. We can't just be cynical about our country if it comes with some mean tweets from time to time. Them to believe in God and pledge allegiance to their country. Because you know what? We will still defend of it. That is the America I know. That is the America we miss. We do not have to be ancient Rome. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We can still be a nation in our ascent, whose best days, not in some fake politician way, but in a true way, a nation whose best days are actually still ahead of us. Still on our way to that shining city on a hill, that country where no matter who you are, or where your parents came from, or what your skin color is, or has, that you will still get ahead in this country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what? You are free to speak your mind step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream, identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And this November, when we send Donald J. Trump back to the White House, thank you all. God bless you and your families. And may God bless our United States of America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome American icon, singer-songwriter Lee Greenwood.
Well, not every life on you, I'm not gonna let go. Well, I played the game and I paid the price, and I don't mind saying I've lost once or twice for you. Come on, country, holding a good hand. I bet my life on you, I'm not gonna let go. Now that I found a heart that's true, I just want a full house and a little piece of land, and I walk through life holding a good hand. Hey, holding a good hand. I bet my life on you, I'm not gonna let go. Now that I found a heart that's true, I just want a full house and a little piece. Walk through life holding a good hand, holding a good hand. I bet my life on you, I'm not gonna let go. Now that I found a heart that's true, house and a little piece of land, and I walk through life holding a good hand. I just want a full house and a little piece of land, and I walk through life holding a good hand. Let's re-elect Donald Trump, the next president of the United States. I say.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome television personality Savannah Chrisley.
Good evening. 726-00019 and 726-01019. These may be just numbers to you, but to me, they're my whole heart. These numbers are my parents' identification numbers in our federal prison system. My name is Savannah Chrisley, and you may have seen my family on TV, but for the past decade, we've been consumed with a different kind of drama. My family was persecuted by rogue prosecutors in Fulton County due to our public profile. I know, Fulton County, they know how to do it, don't they? Due to our public profile and conservative beliefs. They accused my fraud, when really, we were defrauded by a dishonest business partner who, let's not forget, the government gave full immunity to. We suffered warrantless raids and harassment. Officials even had my father's face on a dartboard in his office. My parents were sentenced to a combined 19 years. I know. Let me tell you, I got custody of my brother and sister, 10 and 16 at the time. And you don't know heartache until you look two children in the eyes and say, I don't know when mom and dad are coming home. I'll never forget what the prosecutor said in the most heavily Democrat county in the state before an Obama-appointed judge. He called us the Trumps of the South. Yeah, hey, it's fun. He meant it as an insult, but let me tell you, boy, do I wear it as a badge of honor. We live in a nation founded on liberty and justice for all. Justice, it's supposed to be blind, but today we have a two-faced justice system. Just look at what they're doing to President. All while, let's face it, Hunter Biden is roaming around free and attending classified meetings. And let's face it, look at what they're doing to countless Christians and conservatives that the government has labeled extremist or even worse. Meanwhile, the Democrats are releasing actual violent offenders who have hurt innocent people. A lawyer of mine, Brett Tolman, who's a former U.S. attorney, he told me about a plaque that hangs in the Department of Justice, and it reads, "The hallmark of fairness in the administration of justice is consistency. The only thing consistent about Democrat justice is how they consistently punish their enemies. That's not justice. Look at what they've done to Steve Bannon. I mean, the man should be at home. Proverbs 24:16 says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. But the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." It's about time we start seeing people stumble. We need to rise above the persecution. We need to hold rogue prosecutors accountable. There should be no immunity. We need to expose the Democrats' corruption, and better yet, the Biden family's corruption. And guess what? I know just the man for that job. Donald J. Trump has only one conviction that matters, and that is his conviction to make America great again. Thank you, and God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Dallas, Texas, Eric Johnson.
"4 years ago, progressive activists stood on my front lawn, said no. More and better policing, not less. As mayor, I knew we needed to increase support for our police department and prioritize violent crime reduction. I'd been a Democrat my entire life, albeit a conservative one. But when those activists tried to scare my kids, my fellow Democrats were silent. It was Republicans who offered their support both privately and publicly. Party affiliation didn't matter. They cared about doing. Today, I'm the proud Republican mayor of Dallas, Texas. The largest city in the United States, led by I wanted to say I didn't leave the Democrat Party because they left me first, but the truth is, safety, the Democrats were never actually there for me, for Dallas families, or for the American people. With their words and their actions, and sometimes with their silence and their inaction, Democrats in power demonstrate they don't care about stopping the killers or the thieves who terrorize black and brown communities. They don't care about securing our border. And they don't care about dangerous homeless encampments. No, the heart of today's woke Democrat Party is with the criminals, not with their victims. Democrats are good at using safe words, but terrible at building safe neighborhoods and safe cities. But there is a better way. Dallas bucked national trends and achieved a remarkable 3 straight years of violent crime reduction. Today, Dallas is viewed as America's safest large city, and Republicans lead 11 of the top 15 safest cities. And that's because Republicans won't be silent about public safety. Folks, let's make our city safe again by supporting Republicans who will stand up and fight for our safety. That's my focus as chairman of the Republican Mayors Association. And you know what else? Together, Let's make America safe again by retiring Joe Biden and electing Donald J. Trump. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice Presidential nominee, Senator J.D. Vance.
Who's in charge? Let's get out of Iraq, back on track, and let's rebuild America first. These United States, we're the ones who need it the most. You think I'm smoke? Boys, it ain't no joke. I make 20 trips a year, coast to coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
This is for your family's safety. And he's failed you terribly. Biden made one of the worst mistakes of any president in history when he told illegals to come here and surge our border.
I would in fact make sure that we immediately surge.
And surge they did. 10 million, more than the population of 40 U.S. states. And Biden's open border became an open invitation for violent Venezuelan gang members, sex traffickers, and now confirmed, ISIS terrorists entered through Biden's wide opener, putting America on high alert for an attack, and your family at great risk.
We immediately surged to the border.
But it gets even worse. Biden's incompetence has led to a horrific 300,000 Americans, not from a nuclear bomb, but from lethal fentanyl brought in through Biden's wide-open border. And on Biden's watch, enough illegal fentanyl has crossed our borders to kill every single American. That's fine. This weak man has been great for the Mexican drug cartels, while being a death sentence for over 300,000 Americans, including young children. That's approaching the number of soldiers that were killed in World War II. Yet what's Biden's message?
Surge to the border.
The Biden surge has also led to a surge in violent crimes committed by illegal migrants. Horrific crimes. Murders. Gang attacks against our police. Child sex crimes. And the brutal killing of a nursing student on her college campus. Countless families will never forget the pain and tragedy. And America should never forget who was Joe Biden.
Surge to the border.
And America's border czar. President Trump had our borders secure, our families safe, and he'll do it again.
Ladies and please welcome United States Senator Ted Cruz of Texas.
God bless Donald J. And let me start by giving thanks to God Almighty for protecting President Trump and for turning his head on Saturday as the shot was fired. Together we lift up in prayer all of our leaders for protection. Our prayers are in particular with the family of Fire Chief Corey Comparatore and the others injured on Saturday. Never before has an election mattered so much. We are facing an invasion on our southern border. Not figuratively, a invasion. 11.5 million people have crossed our border illegally under Joe Biden. Look around you. This arena holds about 8 souls. Now imagine 639 arenas just like this, filled to the brim. That is 11.5 million people, larger than all but 8 nations. But the numbers don't show us the true price that our country is paying. Every day, Americans are dying. Murdered, assaulted by illegal immigrants that the Democrats have released. Teenage girls and boys wearing colored wristbands are being sold into a life of sex. This is evil and it's wrong. And it is happening every damn day. Think of Kate Steinle. She was 32, walking with her father on a San Francisco pier when a bullet tore through her heart. The man who fired that gun shot 5 times. Every damn day. Think of Laken Riley. Just 22 years old, a nursing student with dreams of healing others, and never came home. Her life taken by someone who should have never been here. Every damn day. Or Rachel Marin, a beautiful mother of 5, raped and murdered in suburban Maryland by an illegal immigrant the Democrats released. Every damn day. Or Jocelyn Nungary, only 12 years old. It was just 1 month ago today that she was brutally raped and murdered in Houston by 2 men who were supposed to be detained and monitored, but instead released and allowed to roam free. Every day. These aren't just stories or statistics. They're our daughters, our sisters, our friends. The families don't care about the empty numbers. They care about the empty chairs at the dinner table, about the voices they'll never hear again, about the laughter lost, and about the never be fulfilled. I've sat with these families in living rooms where the silence is so loud that it hurts, where photo albums are opened with trembling hands. How did we get here? It happened because Democrats cynically decided they wanted votes from illegals more than they wanted to protect our children. Today, as a result of Joe Biden's presidency, your family is less safe. Your children are less safe. The country is less safe. But here's the good news. We can fix. When Donald Trump is president, we will fix it. We know this because he's done it before. I know this because I worked hand in hand with President Trump to secure our border, the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. It's real simple. He's done it, and he'll do it again. So tonight, I speak for Kate and Laken. Tonight, I speak for Jocelyn. And let us go forward together and keep our sacred oath to defend the Constitution, protect the American people. Let us secure our borders, enforce our laws, protect our children, and restore the future. Because when we do that, when we remember who we are and who we love, and we act to protect, then and only then will we truly make America great again. Thank you. God bless Texas and God states of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former law enforcement officer Randy Sutton.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hello, America. My name is Randy Sutton, a police lieutenant. I was a police officer for 30 years. I was one of the most highly decorated officers in the history of my department. And then I founded the Wounded Blue, an organization dedicated to helping injured and disabled law enforcement officers. I've dedicated my life to law enforcement. And I'm here to tell you one thing, America. Donald Trump is the best friend we will ever have. Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a plague of crime across America. Endless tsunami of illegal aliens. No consequences for violent crime. The abuse of our criminal justice system. It's all made America more dangerous than ever before. Police are the thin blue line between criminal predators and their victims. Donald Trump and Republicans stand that line with our police. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, well, they stand with the criminals. The last few years have been devastating for our police. The war on cops is very real, and it's getting Americans killed. Last year alone, more than 70,000 law enforcers were physically assaulted. They were shot, they were stabbed, they were beaten. They were hit with bricks, and in the last 5 years, 1,834 made the ultimate sacrifice lives in the line of duty. But all of this will end on the day we elect Donald J. Trump president. But my friends, it's not just the physical violence. It's the relentless effort to pull from the police. This is about the soul of America. Make no mistakes. If the radical left succeeds in defunding and destroying policing as we know it, apart the cornerstone of our system, law and order. Well, amazing. Thank you. But I'm going to tell you, there's one that these pro-criminal, anti-police extremists fear most. And that is the once and future President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Before I finish my remarks, I want to do one thing, and that is salute our president. America, I make this promise. Police will never waver from their mission to serve and protect, even at the risk of their own lives. But they need a true leader who will have their backs. Donald J. Trump, leader. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless those that walk the line. America.
From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, I believe that we're going to the greatest years in the history of our country. I will once and for all secure our elections. We're going to go to paper ballots. We're going to have same-day voting, voter ID. We're going to do it properly. We're going to have good, secure, beautiful elections. We need in 2020 to happen again. But until then, Republicans must win. And we must use every appropriate tool available to beat the Democrats. They are destroying our country. Whether you vote early, absentee, by mail, or in person, we are going to protect the vote. That's the most important thing is protect the vote. Keep your eyes open because these people want to cheat, and they do cheat. And frankly, it's the only thing they do well. We will make sure your ballot is secure and your voice is heard. Many Republicans like to vote on Election Day, and we must swamp the radical Democrats with on Tuesday, November 5th. The way you win is to swamp them. If we swamp them, they can't cheat. It just doesn't work out. But if you can't make it, you need to make a plan, register, and vote any way possible. We got to get your vote. So with your vote, we will win a victory which no one has ever seen before. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House, and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024, the most important day in the history of our country. But it's going to go down as. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Iowa Attorney General Brenna Bird.
Good evening, Milwaukee. My name is Brenna Bird, and I am the Attorney General of the great state of Iowa. A few years ago, a local prosecutor locking up bad guys. But in 2022, I ran for Attorney General and beat the incumbent Democrat who was first elected when I was just 2 years old. We won because Iowans were who would protect them, not the criminals. An Attorney General who would stand up to Joe Biden and the radical Democrats. And an Attorney General who would defend our constitutional freedoms. But more than anything, Iowa voters wanted an Attorney General who would back the blue. Unfortunately, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have made life miserable for law enforcement. They treat police like criminals, and criminals like victims. And tragically, many crimes feel abandoned by a justice system that doesn't seem to put their interests first. They deserve better than what these defund the police Democrats deliver. Yet the radical left believes in handouts, not handcuffs. Democrats like Harris use words like reimagine the police. They're probably imagining more DEI programs for the police. Harris even said that putting more cops on the street wouldn't make communities safer. Disagree. Never forget. The Democratic Party is the party of defunding the police. They said it, they mean it, and they can't wiggle out of it. Republicans get justice for victims, and we put criminals where they belong, in jail. That's President Donald J. Trump. President Trump knows that keeping Americans safe isn't a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. job. And rank and file cops know that President Trump, he has their back. It touched our hearts when earlier this year, President Trump attended the wake of a fallen New York City police officer. We all owe heroes like Officer Jonathan Diller a debt we can never repay. President Trump, and he shows his gratitude. Joe Biden was also in New York City that day, but instead of honoring our heroes, he attended a glitzy fundraiser with Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. None of them went to pay their respects. That day, we saw Democrat priorities, and we saw Donald Trump's priorities, and we saw that Trump's values are our values. I urge everyone listening to stand with law enforcement and vote to make America safe again. I urge you to vote for Donald Trump on November 5th. Thank you, Milwaukee, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former Governor of South Carolina and Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley.
My fellow Republicans, President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name of unity. It was a gracious invitation, and I was happy to accept. One thing perfectly clear. Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period. country is at a critical moment. We have a choice to make. For more than a year, I said a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for President Kamala Harris. Everyone knows it's true. If we have 4 more years of Biden or a single day of Harris, our country will be badly worse off. For the sake of our nation, we have to go with Donald Trump. But there's more to it than that. We should acknowledge that there are some Americans who don't agree with Donald Trump 100%. I happen to know some of them. And I want to speak to them tonight. My message to them is simple. You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for him. Take it from me, I haven't always agreed with President Trump. But we agree more often than we disagree. We agree on keeping America strong. We agree on keeping America safe. And we agree that Democrats have moved so far to the left that they're putting our freedoms in danger. I'm here tonight because we have a country to save. And a unified Republican Party is essential for saving her. For those who have some doubts about President Trump, I want to tell you a few things about the Commander-in-Chief I know and worked with. As ambassador to the United Nations, I had a front row seat to his national security policies. We sure could use those again. Think about it. When Barack Obama was president, Vladimir Putin invaded Crimea. With Joe Biden as president, Putin invaded all of Ukraine. But when president, Putin did nothing. No invasions. No invasions, no wars. That was no accident. Putin didn't attack because he knew Donald Trump was tough. A strong president doesn't start wars. A strong president prevents wars. Then look at the Middle East. Every problem in that part of the world can be laid at the feet of Iran. The dictators who chant death to America are the bankrollers and weapons suppliers for Hamas and Hezbollah. They're behind the barbaric massacres and the hostage taking. Once again, compare Trump and Biden. Trump got us out of the insane Iran nuclear deal. He imposed the toughest sanctions ever, and he eliminated the arch-terrorist Qasem Soleimani. Iran to start any wars. They knew Trump meant business, and they were afraid. And then there's Joe Biden. He begged them to get back into the nuclear deal. He surrendered in Afghanistan. He sent every possible sign of weakness. Even now, while Hamas is still holding America hostage, Biden is pressuring Israel instead of the terrorists. Between Israel and Hamas, Donald Trump is clear about who is our friend, our enemy. Then look at the border. It's the single biggest threat Americans face. Under Joe Biden, migrants are coming into our country by the thousands every day. We have no idea who they are, where they end up, or what they plan to do. And Kamala had one job, and that was to fix the border. Now imagine her in charge of the entire country. Under Donald Trump, we didn't have the border disaster we have today, and we won't when he is president again. I was proud to serve America in President Trump's cabinet. And I'll tell you something you won't hear from the critics. He appreciated advice and input. Americans were moved by his presidency, even if they didn't agree with him on all things. Now, to my fellow Republicans, we must not only be a unified party, we must also expand our party. We are so much better when we are bigger. We are stronger when we welcome people into our party who have different backgrounds and experiences. Now, we need to be strong to save America. This is a defining moment, not only for our party, but for our country. Our fellow Americans are fearful right now. Inflation and wages that don't keep up with prices. Young people are being indoctrinated to think our country is racist and evil. The Jewish community is facing an obscene rise in anti-Semitism. Too many minorities are trapped in communities devastated by crime. Our foreign enemies win when they see Americans hate each other. They see that today, whether it's on college campuses or in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania. But we can conquer those fears with unity. No president can fix all of our problems alone. We have to do this together. America has an amazing ability to self-correct. In this moment, we have our differences and focus on what unites us and strengthens our country. Let us join. Let us come together as a people, as one country, strong and proud. Let us show our children and the world that even on our worst day, we are blessed to live in America. God bless you. Thank you. God bless the United States of America.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
My fellow Republicans, let's send Joe Biden back to his basement and let's send Donald Trump back to the White House.
Life was more affordable when Donald Trump was president. Our border was safer under the Trump administration, and our country was respected when Donald Trump was our commander-in-chief. Joe Biden has failed this nation. As a veteran, I was appalled when 13 of our service members were killed in Afghanistan due to Joe Biden's dereliction of duty. As a citizen, as a husband, and as a father, I am alarmed that the current President of the United States lacks the capability to discharge the duties of his office. Do not confine their designs to between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. We need a commander-in-chief who can lead 24 hours a day, days a week. America cannot afford 4 more years of a weekend at Bernie's presidency. Let's be honest here. Biden is just a figurehead. He's a tool for imposing a leftist agenda on the American people. They support open borders, allowing millions and millions of illegal aliens to pour into our country and to burden our communities, but just don't send any to Martha's Vineyard, then they get really upset. They have unleashed progressive prosecutors across our nation who care more about coddling criminals than about protecting their own communities. They use the unelected bureaucracy to impose their will on us without our consent, and they weaponize political power to target their political opponents like they've done. They want to ban gas automobiles, eliminate Second Amendment rights, and impose gender ideology on everyone from our infantrymen to kindergartners. They stand for DEI, which really means division, exclusion, and indoctrination, and it is wrong. They mandated that you show proof of to go to a restaurant, but they oppose requiring proof of citizenship to cast a vote. They can't even define what a woman. Now, Donald Trump stands in their way, and he stands up for America. Donald Trump has been demonized. He's been sued. He's been prosecuted, and he nearly lost his life. We cannot let him down, and we can America down. It is the values of this Republican Party that reflect our nation's founding principles. We believe schools should educate, indoctrinate. We stand for parents' rights, including universal school choice. We support law and order, not rioting and disorder. We seek a strong, military, not one distracted by. We stand for fiscal sanity, for low. We believe that you must be a citizen in order to vote, and that photo ID should be required before casting a ballot. We stand for strong borders and believe that our nation must have a shared civic culture, and we oppose any immigration that stands apart or in contrast to our American values. We believe in the principles articulated in the Declaration of Independence that our rights come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of the Almighty, including the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, none of this is easy, but it can be done. For decades, my home state saw elections determined by razor-thin margins. Today, due to bold leadership, the Democratic Party lies in ruins. The left is in reign supreme. The woke mind virus is dead, and Florida is a solid Republican state. Now, electing Donald Trump gives us the chance to do this all across America. And we have a responsibility to step up and make it happen. We have a responsibility to called the Sacred Fire of Liberty. This was a fire that burned in Independence Hall in 1776 when 56 men pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to establish this nation. Burned at a cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, when our nation's first Republican president pledged this nation to a new birth of freedom. It's a fire that burned at the foot of the Berlin Wall in 1987, when our nation's 40th president stood in front of that wall and said, "Miss down this wall." This is not a responsibility we should fear. It's a responsibility we should welcome. After all, if not us, who? Let's make the 45th President of the United States the 47th President of the United States. Let's elect Republicans up and down the belt to fight, fight, fight for these United States. Thank you. God bless you. Let's win in November. Thank you so much.
We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, Trump, baby. No, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Red pill pop it, swerving in the Trump truck. Republican 4G, Antifa knows what's up. Red, white, and blue, MAGA nation, throw it up. Black, white, and brown, all about Trump. Democrat Party gon' take your freedom. Indicting our president cause they can't beat. It's a two-tier justice system. We the victims. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. Let's go, Brandon. Sing it. We voting Donald Trump, baby. Donald Trump, baby. Needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, Trump, baby. Trump, Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Now I pledge allegiance to vote for Trump. There's a red wave coming, you gon' surf for what? In God I trust to take the devil and throw the key away. Your propaganda ain't gonna work on me. Bidenomics is like you working for free. I demand reparations from every idiot that voted for Joe Biden, boy, period. Period, Sleepy Joe is a fraud. And the bloodbath in the overall files. The media is the enemy of the people. The FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. Let's go, Brandon. Sing it. We voting Donald Trump, baby. Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, Trump, baby. Trump, Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th.
Ladies and gentlemen, please State Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri.
Hello, Milwaukee. Hello, America. I'm Eric Schmidt from the great state of Missouri, the Show Me State. It's not lost on me how unlikely my presence is on this stage. As the grandson of a butcher, the son of a man who worked 7 days a week in the midnight shift, my blue-collar roots run deep. And I'm proud the Republican working families Missouri is home to cities named Liberty and Independence, and called Freedom and Defiance. So it should come as no surprise that we are sick and tired of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I am here with a simple message, Enough is enough. We're ready to take our country back. Under Joe Biden, the rule of law has disintegrated. Crime, our communities are under siege, and our brave law enforcement officers are constantly being vilified. He stood idly by as liberal DAs and mayors pushed to defund the police and empowered criminals, all while endangering law-abiding citizens. Kamala Harris shares in these failures. She campaigned as a progressive prosecutor and even called for us to reimagine public safety. Reimagine safety. We know exactly what safe communities look like. But the weakness and the wokeness of the Biden-Harris administration has made us less safe. Biden and Harris opened our border to terrorists, to criminals. They allowed drug cartels to flood our communities with Chinese fentanyl that's killing more than 200 Americans. It doesn't have to be this way. As Missouri's former Attorney General, I went toe-to-toe with the radical defund the police crowd and had the backs of our men and women in blue. In fact, officials refused to prosecute violent criminals. I stepped in and put those dangerous felons behind bars. And I know President, he'll restore law and order. He'll unapologetically back the blue. And President Trump will secure the border once and for all. I believe in an America where our best days are ahead of us. I believe in an America where moms and dads can raise their kids in safe communities. And I believe in an America where we defend the police. President Trump will make that dream a reality. And that's why we need him back in the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, a vote for President Trump is a vote to make America safe again. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas.
I want to share two stories about immigration and two presidents. Manuel was a house painter in Arkansas and a green card holder from Mexico. He couldn't vote in 2020 yet, but his family could. Manuel proudly told his contractor that they had just cast their first votes for president. For whom? Donald Trump, of course. When asked why, Manuel gestured to the parking lot and responded, "Have you seen my new pickup? And did you know that my brother and sister both have full-time jobs? With Trump, we've had more work than ever. Things are good." Manuel became a citizen last year, and he's excited to vote for the first time for Donald Trump. By contrast, after Joe Biden and the border czar, Kamala, reversed President Trump's immigration policies and welcomed a third world invasion, I traveled to our border. What did I see? The body of a migrant drowned in the Rio Grande. Human traffickers on the southern bank, Border Patrol. Migrants huddled under a bridge. I asked them why they came. None said persecution. Most said for a job. A few admitted because they could get in. One simple word: Biden. My flight home the next day was full of these migrants, and you, all of you, paid for their tickets. That's our choice. A secure border and an immigration system that works for all of our citizens. With George Washington, or like Manuel in Arkansas, you just took the oath of citizenship. Or Joe Biden's chaos. Donald Trump said, you can't have a nation without borders, and he defended. Joe Biden thinks borders are racist. Donald Trump will secure our border once again. Donald Trump banned travel to America from terrorist-infested countries. Joe Biden allowed ISIS to smuggle terrorists in. Donald Trump will protect America once again. Donald Trump insisted that immigrants must stand on their own 2 feet, the oldest principle of America. Joe Biden gave migrants welfare, free hotels, and more. Donald Trump will stop migrant welfare once again. Donald Trump ended bogus asylum claims. Joe Biden created an app to let illegals schedule their arrival. Seriously. Donald Trump will stop this migrant fraud once again. Donald Trump cracked down on hiring illegals. Joe Biden let take American jobs. Donald Trump will protect America's workers once again. So what choice will we make? Will we choose Joe Biden, open borders, amnesty, and chaos? No, of course not. We'll choose Donald Trump and his record of security, prosperity, and stability. Said, things were good with Donald Trump, but everything has gone to hell under Joe Biden. But this Biden chaos will end soon, because it's time for us to elect President Trump to secure our America great again. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Coyle from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Good evening, Milwaukee. I'm from Philadelphia, in an area of Kensington, one of the worst neighborhoods in America. Kensington has long struggled, but in the last few years, things have gotten much worse. Our streets are plagued by drugs. You'll find human feces or someone lying dead on your front steps. Politicians say nice things or clean up the streets for a couple weeks in an election year, or when someone famous visits, or even when there's bad news. But as soon as the politicians are no longer afraid for their jobs, we are no longer afraid for our lives. Our children grow up seeing this, thinking it's normal. But there is nothing normal about this. This should not be the norm happening in the richest nation on earth. As a dad and small business owner, I had to do something. I started a nonprofit to improve the neighborhood I love and shared videos online of the horror we live with. In just one day, in one park where our kids passed to reach the public library, we picked up over 1,000 needles. This is unacceptable. Philadelphia is not just my home, but the birthplace of the nation, where our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence. This is not a tragedy for just my city, but for our nation. My city and all cities deserve better. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the ones who opened our southern border and will pour in unconditional. And life is only getting worse. Philadelphians aren't dying off fentanyl. They are dying off fentanyl as well. They are now using something called tranq, which is literally rot to users. Do you know what the smell of rotting flesh smells like? The people of my city do. In Donald Trump, I see a leader who will end the urban nightmare. I ask you to join me in supporting him this fall, because a vote for President Trump is of our cities and to make America safe again. Thank you. Kensington Beach for Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aaron Koper from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That's right. Good evening. My name is Aaron Koper. I'm a grassroots organizer, a proud Republican woman, and a longtime resident of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. To urge Americans to re-elect President Trump and make America safe again. But I'm also here with a warning, because in recent years, I've had a front row seat to the chaos caused Democrats and their soft-on-crime policies. Democrat Mayor Ed Gainey, Congresswoman Summer Lee, and especially Socialist County Executives Sarah and Amarat have demoralized and disrespected our police while unleashing criminals into our communities. The Pittsburgh Police Department has shrunk from 991 officers to 750 at the end of last year. Response times are soaring. One city worker got mugged at gunpoint and raced to a police station, but no one was there to help. In Pittsburgh, defund the police on steroids. The result is crime and chaos. There were 122 murders in my county in 2022, deadliest years on record. Drug deaths are also near record highs. But statistics don't tell the full story. I've been chased by drug dealers on my own street. I've seen filthy tent cities pop up on my block. I've talked to business owners who find human waste, used needles, and shell casings outside. I've felt the chill of fear as a woman when I'm alone in a parking garage or on the street. What the Democrats did to San Francisco, they're doing to my city. But law-abiding are fighting back and saying no more. I saw this when Pittsburgh Republicans, independents, even Democrats came together to beat Soros prosecutor. It can happen again this November. If we stand together, we will beat the soft-on-crime Democrats and make our streets safe again. We can re-elect President Trump, and we can seize. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome American mom and funder.
Hi.
My name is Ann Fundner, and I am the wife and mother of 4 children. I'm standing here today to share the tragic reality of open borders. I'm here to share the story of my firstborn son, my everything, my Weston. My family and I were living in Southern California when President Biden took and opened our borders. My Weston was 15. He was an amazing big brother to his 3 younger siblings. Weston attended church twice a week, played football and hockey, and he loved to surf. He had a big heart and make people laugh. He had so many good friends. And I was always vigilant to be the best mother that I could be. I was room mom, school ambassador, and I attended all of his sports. We had family dinners and barbecues at the beach. And like most teenagers, Weston wanted to fit in. And in a moment of peer pressure, he tried something that someone gave to him, and it took my baby's life. We did everything right. I had those conversations with him, and fentanyl still found my son. And on February 27th, 2022, our lives were shattered, and our baby was gone. This was not an overdose, it was a poisoning. His whole future, everything we ever wanted for him was ripped away in an instant. And Joe Biden does nothing. I hold Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the border czar, what a joke, and Gavin Newsom and every Democrat who supports open borders responsible for the death of my son. Thank you. And the tens of thousands of American innocent children. For that alone, voted out of office. The highest number of fentanyl deaths during the Biden. Fentanyl is now the #1 killer of Americans ages 18 to 45, and it is quickly becoming the leading cause of death for teens with 14 and under, fastest growing demographic. We need President Trump back in office. We need a president who will seal the border, prosecute drug dealers, and stop Communist China from poisoning our children. This is not a red or blue issue. And fentanyl doesn't care if you're black or white. It does not discriminate. This is an American issue. We need a president who will call the drug cartels what they are: terrorist organizations. This fight is not for me. My son is gone. This fight is for your children. We owe it to our children to elect a president who will win fentanyl once and for all. It's too late for my son, Weston. Say his name, Joe Biden. Weston. Thank you. Thank you. But we can change this for your children. We need President Trump back to save the lives of our... Thank you. Thank you. God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Maryland.
Last year, we lost my beloved sister. She went for a walk in one of our family's favorite places. This beautiful trail was to us a safe place where we pushed our strollers, where we walked together as a family, where my wife and I got married, near what would later become the spot body was found. Rachel, a joyful, accomplished athlete and mother of 5, was raped and murdered by a suspected illegal. This was described as among the most brutal and violent offenses that has ever occurred in Harford County, Maryland history. Open borders are often portrayed as compassionate and virtuous. But there is nothing compassionate about allowing violent criminals into our country and robbing children of their mother. My sister's death was preventable. The monster arrested for killing Rachel entered the U.S. unlawfully after killing her. Joe Biden and his designated border czar, Kamala Harris, opened our borders to him and others like him, empowering them to victimize the innocent. To this day, we have not heard from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. They never apologized. But when Rachel was killed, President Trump called my family to offer his condolences. He wanted to meet with us. He cared. That is leadership. And we need real leadership back in the White House. What has gotten us through this unthinkable loss is our faith in Jesus Christ. And as brutal as the murder of my sister was, I pray that her killer will find Jesus Christ. For all the affected by senseless tragedy, I pray for peace, knowing that all things work together to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. I pray that we hold world accountable for safety and justice for innocent people. I pray that we make our country safe and secure in the memory of my sister Rachel, who loved life. Thank you. God bless America. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Madeleine Brame from New York.
Good evening, everyone. My son, Sergeant Hassan Korea, an Afghanistan War retired veteran. He received enemy fire from the Taliban, only to be murdered with a knife on the streets of New York City. The 4 assailants responsible for his death initially were facing justice, but that changed when District Attorney Alvin Bragg was elected. Suddenly, 2 of the homicidal maniacs responsible for my son's gang assault and murder charges completely dismissed. One of them received 14 months' time. Alvin Bragg charged her with assault with a shoe. And another one was sentenced to 7 years. I later learned that Alvin dismisses and reduces dangerous criminals. He wants to clear the jails and return violent felons onto our streets every day. This was devastating for me and my family. I don't want anyone else to experience the senseless pain that many other victims across this United States of America with every day. So I decided to use the voice that God gave me to be the voice for the voiceless across America. We need justice for victims, and we need accountability for prosecutors who fail in their duty. Soft on crime prosecutors like Alvin Bragg in New York, Kim Foxx in Chicago, and George Gascon in Los Angeles have turned our great country and cities into war zones. Poor and neglected communities like mine are suffering. And who else in here is sick and tired of being sick and tired? The Democratic Party that poor minorities have been loyal to, including myself, all right? They betrayed us. They stabbed us in the back. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who claim to represent us, they neglected the poor minority communities across America. But mine eyes have been opened. Just like so many other poor minorities across America. Donald Trump shares our values, love of God and family and country. He's been a victim of the same corrupt system that I have been and my family has been. He is committed to providing economic opportunities, helping those suffering from addiction with long-term inpatient drug programs, rolling back deadly bail reform policies that are getting our children killed every single day and supporting our police. We back the NYPD. We back the blue. Back the blue. NYPD, black the blue. Trump was right when he said, they're after us. He's just standing in the way. And guess what? He always will. That's why I'm standing with him today. Let's make America safe again. And re-elect our Donald J. Trump. Thank you, and good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Thank you. What a powerful story to follow. I'm Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And before I get started, I want to say I have always been proud to stand with President Trump, but never have I been more proud than to stand with him right now, tonight. Not even an assassin's bullet could stop him. Almighty intervened because America is one nation under God, and he is certainly not finished with President Trump. And our country is better for it. I am here tonight as America's youngest governor, the first to lead the great state of Arkansas. And most importantly, a mom to three amazing Scarlett, Pop, George. When I was President Trump's White House press secretary, the best job, I got the chance to take my 4-year-old son, Huck, to Bring Your Kid to Work Day. Much like Jill now drags Joe to bring your husband to Work Day. And while I was briefing the president on the upcoming event in the Oval Office, all of the kids who were attending that day gathered in the Rose Garden, getting ready. And we were walking out onto that beautiful, perfect colonnade. And I saw out of the corner of my eye that my son Huck was running full speed directly at the President of the United States. Being the gracious person he is, President Trump bent down to give him a big hug. And right in front of everyone, Huck sidestepped the president, completely ignoring him in front of everyone, and ran straight into my arms. For my 4-year-old son, the most powerful man in the world had nothing on his mom. But because he's the amazing man he is, President Trump didn't mind at all. After all, he's a dad to 5 unbelievable kids and a grandfather to 10. And while that story is certainly a special memory for my family, it's an even greater why I support President Trump, not for me, not for him, but for my kids and for yours. Under President Trump, America was safer, the world was safer, and it felt like the next generation would have a chance at the American dream. President Trump did the job that Joe Biden simply can't. When we're honest, every American knows that we were so much better off under President Trump. So tonight, I don't want to just speak about President Trump's successful policies. While there are many, I want to talk about the man that I know. When the president hired me, I was the first mom and only woman to ever serve as the White House press secretary. And in that role, I endured relax from the left. I was insulted as a guest at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. My family was denied service and kicked out of a restaurant. And a parent, 3-year-old son's preschool, spit on my car. And in those moments, it was President Trump who defended me. And when an MSNBC host, the author of several books on empowering women, said I was unfit, and another MSNBC host said I was vile, not even human, and that I should be choked, MSNBC again did nothing. Pulled me aside, looked me in the eye, and said, "Sarah, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're tough, and they attack you because you're good at your job." Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. That's the Donald Trump that I know. And that's the Donald J. Trump I will always respect. The left doesn't care about empowering women. Biden and Harris can't even tell you what a woman is. They are empowering themselves. But we have a president who believes in empowering every American and that our country is worth fighting for. For the last years, Republican governors have been leading that fight and doing what Joe Biden refuses to do. We've deployed the National Guard to the border. We've cracked down on crime and drugs. We cut taxes to give hardworking Americans inflation. And we empowered parents with universal school choice across the country. Donald Trump was the very first president in my lifetime to take a hard line against China, and I'm proud to be the first and only governor in the country to kick communist China off our farm. President Trump is a leader, and he's the leader our country needs. And if ever there was a doubt, this week we saw just how tough, resilient, courageous, and daring this man is, and we can't get him back in the White House fast enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not called to stand still in the face of great danger. You and I were put on this earth at a moment in time. We cannot know what the future holds, but we know damn sure who holds the future in his hands. God spared Trump from that assassin, because God is not finished with him yet. And he most certainly is not finished with America yet either. With God and President Trump back in the White House, we will show the world that America is the place where freedom reigns and liberty will never die. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, let us not leave here just excited about a great few days. Here, energized and committed to making sure that we protect our freedom and we have the ability to pass it on to the next generation, because America is the greatest country that the world has ever known, and our kids and our grandkids deserve to enjoy it the way each of us did. And we will with President Trump back in the White House. Thank you so much. God bless the great state of Arkansas and the amazing United States of America. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Ben Carson.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, Sarah Huckabee always says to me, I hate to follow you. But I think she turned the table on me tonight. I want to thank you all for being here and for being involved. Like many of you last week, I watched with horror as the events unfolded in that Pennsylvania field. I saw President Trump, a dear friend, escape death by mere inches. And my thoughts immediately turned to the book of Isaiah that says, no weapon formed against. Well, let me tell you the weapons that they used. First, they tried to ruin his reputation, and he's more popular than ever. And then they tried to bankrupt him, and he's got more money now than he had before. And then they tried to put him, and he's freer and has made other people free with him. And then last weekend, they tried to kill him, and there he is over there, alive and well. You know, I have no doubt that God lowered a shield of protection over President Trump. And I join millions of Americans in thanksgiving for President Trump's safety. And I encourage you to join me in praying each day for his continued protection. You know, our hearts go out to the victims in the audience. Let's also pray for them and their families. These events have brought unusual clarity to the times we are living in. We have all harbored the nagging feeling that everything we love is slipping away. All you have to do is turn on the television. The free press, a pillar of any free society, has abused the public trust and resorted to lies, deception, and disinformation. They divide us along lines of race, class, and gender, rather than uniting us around our shared bond as Americans. Our government has been no better, shredding our Constitution and upending the rule of law. We have a wide open border, a broken education system, and chaos breaking out around the world. And on top of it all, we have a president who, well, if you can't say anything good, don't say anything at all. But ask anyone around the world, what does it mean to be an American? Most will tell you that it means unlimited opportunity. That where you begin in life doesn't dictate where you will end. That's the America I grew up in. In no other country could a poor inner city kid raised by a single mom make it then to medical school, become a successful neurosurgeon, run for president, and eventually become a member of the president's cabinet. You know, and as a member of his cabinet, I had a chance to work closely with him. And I got to tell you, this is a man who is a gift to us as a nation. He is very gifted, he is very smart, he is very compassionate, he cares about people. And I'll tell you, the first time I met him, it was before either of us got into the political arena. And we were at Mar-a-Lago, and someone came up to him and said, "Mr. Trump, Rod Stewart just walked in." I don't care, this is Ben Carson. But I feel blessed that I've been able to live the American dream. But my story is moving further out of reach in America today. The lessons my mother taught me, like hard work and the value of well-rounded patriotic education and faith in God above all else, are being forced out square. But we're all here today because we know we can bring these things back. By God's grace, we live in a country where the people, we have the power to choose the kind of nation we will be and the kind of men and women that will lead us. And today the choice could not be more clear. The most repeated phrase in the Bible is this: do not be afraid, or fear not. It appears 165 times in Scripture, a reminder to live each day with faith, hope, and joy as joyful warriors for Christ. And when God is with us, nobody can stand against us. With this assurance from the Almighty, even of evil itself cannot shake our resolve. We will keep fighting, we will keep praying, and by the grace of God, we will save our country and re-elect President Trump together with Vance this November. And I want you to remember this. In 1831, Alexis de Tocqueville came to America to study our nation because the Europeans were fascinated. They wanted to know, how could a nation barely 50 years old already compete with them on virtually every level? So he looked at our government and he was duly impressed by our checks and balances and separation of powers. And then he looked at our business environment. He was duly encouraged entrepreneurship and innovation. And he looked at our educational system, and he was blown away by the fact that he could find a mountain man in the middle of the woods who could read, who could tell him about the Declaration of Independence. But the thing that was when he went to our churches, and he heard those inspirational sermons from the pulpits that inspired a ragtag bunch of militiamen to defeat the most powerful army in the world. American people are moral based. And he concluded his 2-volume set, Democracy in America, with these words. He said, America, because America is good. And if America ever ceases to be good, she will cease to be great. It is our job to make America good, and let's do this by re-electing President Trump. So great, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator of Florida, Marco Rubio.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't say polo. Don't say polo. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Days remind us that the life of every living thing and the breath of all mankind is in the hands of God. We were brought, and by the hand of God, reminded of what truly matters in our lives and in our country. This thing we do called politics, it matters. It's not unimportant, but it is our people who must always matter the most in everything we do. By giving voice to everyday, President Trump has not just transformed our party, he has inspired a movement. A movement of the people who grow our food and drive our trucks, the people who make our cars and build our homes, the people whose taxes fund our government, and whose children fight our wars. Americans like Corey Comparator. He was a former fire chief and a loving husband. He was described as the best dad a girl could ever ask for. As a man of God who loved Jesus fiercely and loved the church. Corey was one of the millions of everyday Americans who make our country great. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, and the only reason why we know his name and story now is because last Saturday, he shielded his wife and daughter from an assassin's bullet and lost his life the way he lived it, a hero. For those still wondering who are in the press and many watching at home, these are the Americans who wear the red hats and wait for hours to hear Trump speak. And what they want, what they ask for, it is not hateful or extreme. What they want is good jobs and lower prices. They want borders that are secure, and for those who come here to do so legally. They want to be safe from criminals and from terrorists. And they want for our leaders to care more about our problems here at home than about the problems of other countries far away. There is absolutely nothing dangerous or anything divisive about putting Americans first. Those who are offended, anyone who is offended about putting America first has forgotten what American is and what American isn't the color of our skin or our ethnicity. Americans are people as diverse as humanity itself. But out of many, we are one. Because as the life story of our next Vice President, J.D. Vance, reminds us, we are all descendants of ordinary people who achieved extraordinary things. Who do we come from? We come from pioneers who ventured west to chase their dreams, and slaves who overcame bondage to claim their right to the promise of America. We come from exiles who fled tyranny in search of freedom, and who left behind all they had and knew because they could not be or achieve God's purpose for their life in the nation of their birth. That is an American. And first must be what this election is about. When President Trump was in the White House, Americans had more money and lower prices. Our beer and our laws were enforced. Iran was broke, the Taliban stopped killing Americans, and Putin didn't invade anyone. Now, under Biden, high prices devour paychecks. Criminals and drugs are allowed to flood into our country and terrorize our people. And Iran has money to support terrorists. The Taliban humiliated us in Afghanistan, and not one, but two major wars have broken out. My fellow Americans, the only way to make America wealthy and safe and strong again is to make Donald J. Trump our president again. Our country has been injured by the bad decisions of weak leaders. But now, by our wounds, we must stand up and we must fight. Fight not with violence or destruction, but with our voices and our votes. Fight not against each other, but for the hopes and dreams we share in common and make us one. And fight for an America where we are safe from those who seek to harm us on our streets and from abroad. And we will not be alone in this fight. For it will be a man who, although wounded and facing danger, he stood up and raised his fist and reminded us that our people and our country are always worth fighting for. It is time to put our country and our people first again. And if we do, together, we will make our people wealthy again. If we do, together, we will make our country safe again. Together, we will make Donald Trump our president again. And together, we will not just make America great again. We will make America greater than it has ever been. Thank you. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Laura Trump.
Whoa! I don't feel like I actually have to ask this question, but is anybody in this room ready to send Donald 1800 Pennsylvania Avenue? Well, it may not be a surprise that I actually had a very different speech that I was prepared to give up here tonight. That all changed at 6:11 on Saturday evening. Nothing prepares you for a moment like that. Our family has faced our fair share of death threats, mysterious powders sent to our homes, tasteless and violent comments directed towards us on social media, but none of that prepares you as a daughter-in-law. Real time, someone tried to kill a person you love. None of that prepares you as a mother to quickly reach for the remote and turn your young children away from the screen so that they're not witness to something that scars the memory of their grandpa for the rest of their lives. And well wishes we've received over the last 72 hours have been overwhelming, to say the least. My heart goes out to the family who lost a husband and a father because of this senseless act. All of you here tonight and watching at home mean the world to all of us in the Trump family. If Donald Trump has shown us anything, it's that when it feels impossible to keep going, those are the times we must keep going. I don't know how many people here are watching have ever been to a Trump rally, but if you've never been, let me tell you about them. Oh, some of you have been. Oh! Regardless of how the media have painted these rallies, you would be hard-pressed to find and to join a happier group of people for their love for the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. I dare anyone trying to leave a Trump rally without leaving with some new friends. You always make friends at a Trump rally, right? Veterans, teachers, blue-collar workers, white-collar workers, active duty military, police officers, firefighters, small business owners, Latino supporters, Christian supporters, Jewish supporters, black supporters, white supporters, Asian supporters, gay supporters, Republicans, independents, and yeah, Democrats. At a Trump rally, you're not viewed as your profession, your religion, or the color of your skin. You're viewed as one thing. And last Saturday was a jarring reminder that we, as Americans, there is more that unites us than divides us. We all want this country to be great, even if we don't always agree on the best way of doing that. And with everybody, I can tell you that all Donald Trump wants to do and has ever wanted to do is make this country great again for all of us.
Proverbs 28 reads, "The wicked flee, though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." And that truly epitomizes Donald Trump. He is a lion. He is bold, he is strong, he is fearless, and he is exactly what this country needs right now. Let's not forget what life actually looked like under President Donald Trump. Trade deals across the world that benefited our economy, allied countries paying their fair share, a safe and secure, record low unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, and women, record investment in historically black colleges and universities, creation of the United States Space Force, the most comprehensive prison reform in decades. How about the peace agreements in the Middle East that they said would never happen? The largest tax cuts in American history, our energy independence, massive cut, and no new wars when Donald J. Trump was president. Most importantly, though, you could actually feel it in your everyday life. Now, you didn't have to love everything that he tweeted, but you cannot deny you were better off when Donald Trump was in office. Americans were finally able to start saving money. Home prices were affordable, and gas hit a low of $1.87 a gallon. As I speak here tonight, many of our fellow Americans don't know how they'll pay for their next trip to the grocery store, new clothes for their children, this month's rent. Many of our fellow Americans worry that we are on the verge of a major terror attack here on American soil. Many of our fellow Americans don't think their own children establish a better life than they themselves currently have. Many of our fellow Americans are right now sitting and wondering how on earth this country could have moved in the wrong direction and so quickly. The Democrats and the media know that they cannot convince you, the American people, that your life is better off now, because it's not. So what will they do? They'll try to sell you on some outrageous narrative about the terrible things that Donald Trump will do as president. But you don't have to imagine what it would be like. All you have to do is remember what it was like. I know. Oh, yeah. Hear out there about Donald Trump. I know what you read, what the media tells you, and what out-of-touch celebrities on the left say about this man. But when I look at Donald Trump, I see father, father-in-law, and of course, grandfather to my two young children, Luke and Carolina. I know that I'm lucky enough to get to call him my father-in-law and see than all of you. But it's through that lens that I sometimes wish more people could see him. This is a man who has sacrificed for his family and a man who has sacrificed for his country. Donald Trump didn't need to run for president for fame or money. Trust me, we all know he already had. I'll tell you why he did it and why he continues on, even in the face of the unthinkable, because he loves this country. He did it for his grandchildren, for your children and grandchildren, and for the generations to come. I have seen this man dragged through hell and back, in and out of courtrooms, indictments, impeachments, mugshots, and even an assassination attempt. And yet, down. I'll never forget watching my two children run up to him with their drawings and hugs for Grandpa just moments before he took the elevator down in Trump Tower to address the media after his wrongful conviction. Despite everything else he had going on, he had no other focus in the entire world. Just a man relishing time with his grandchildren. It's a side of Donald Trump that not enough people get. Maybe you got to see a side of Donald Trump on Saturday that you were not sure existed until you saw it with your own eyes. Martin Luther King Jr. once famously said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." There's no doubt that Saturday was one of the most frightening moments of my father-in-law's life. Millimeters separated him from life and certain death. And yet, it was in the midst of it all, as he was jostled off stage by Secret Service, that he knew how defining that moment would be for our country, and he hoisted his fist in the air. It was not just for the audience at the rally, not just for his supporters tuning in, but for all of America. And as a signal to the world that no matter what, America will always prevail. Though it's been strained and attacked, no enemy, no force, not even a bullet is strong enough to break our American grit and our American soul, whose founders gave their fortunes, freedom, and lives to pursue the dream of a free society. We are the country of Thomas Edison, Susan B. Anthony, Henry Ford, and Harriet Tubman. We are the country who won 2 world wars. And we are the country who always rises to meet the moment, no matter how insurmountable the task. And in that split second, on Saturday, Donald Trump reminded us all of and who we are at our core as a nation. That is the Donald Trump that I know. He is an American who conquered the business world, an American who made himself a household name, An American who was beloved by politicians and fellow celebrities for decades until he ran for office with an R next to his name. An American whom even Barack Obama admits people consider the American dream. And instead of sailing off into the sunset after an illustrious real estate and television career, he decided to give back. He decided to bring some of the things that had made him so successful in life to all of you in order to improve the lives of all Americans. Black, white, brown, gay, straight, all Americans, because that's the man that Donald Trump is. I can tell you that my personal experience with Donald Trump has shown me his heart. There wasn't a second that he made this small-town girl who was way out of her element in New York feel anything but welcomed and part of the family. And if not for the support and encouragement of my father-in-law, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's been said by many that Donald Trump, that they don't even recognize in themselves. In 2016, when he asked me to help him win my home state of North Carolina, I'll be honest, I was terrified. I had no idea how I would make it happen, but he knew I would, and I did. When I joined a television network as a commentator, it was the push and support of my father-in-law that gave me the confidence to take that job. Always the first one to call or text me after a TV hit and tell me, "Great job, keep going." Yeah, right? Or even a few months ago, when he called and asked me to be the co-chair of our party, he showed me potential in myself that I couldn't yet see. So tonight, to my father-in-law, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you for continuing on. Thank you for raising wonderful kids. Thank you for being an amazing grandfather. Thank you for never giving up on me. And thank you for never giving up on our country. Tonight, not as the co-chair of the RNC, not as the daughter-in-law of the candidate. Tonight, I come to you as a mom and as a citizen of this country. For those of you watching Trump, I know what the media and his political opponents have tried to tell you about this man. Believe me, I have seen and heard it all, but I have also seen the truth. I am proud to campaign for him, to vote for him, and to raise his grandchildren. He will do what is necessary to protect you, protect your family, protect this country, because Donald Trump wants us all to be successful, to be safe, to be happy, to be strong, and to be great again. Tonight, I'm asking you to vote, not for the Donald Trump you see flashed on your TV every day, splashed across the headlines. Tonight, I'm asking you to vote for the Donald Trump that Luke and Carolina call Grandpa. I'm asking you to vote for the Donald Trump that my husband Eric calls Dad. I'm asking you to vote for the Donald Trump that I call my father-in-law. I'm asking you to vote for the Donald Trump who can and will make America great once again for all of us. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. We love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Michael Whatley of North Carolina.
For tonight's benediction, please welcome Pastor Corey Brooks, senior pastor of the New Beginnings Church in Chicago and founder of Project Hood, an organization committed to fighting violence and poverty.
All right. If you wanted to end on a boring note tonight, with no emotion on a benediction or a powerless benediction, then you probably shouldn't have invited a black pastor from the south side of Chicago. Before I pray, let me say three things real quick. Number one, let me thank President Trump and the Republican National Convention for giving me a platform to lift up the name of Jesus and to pray for our great nation. Number two, I'd be remiss if I did not give the great state of Illinois and Chicago out O Block, Opportunity Block. And number three, I want you to make the biggest noise in just a second. I want you to raise your signs, blow your whistles, and give God praise on the count of three. And somebody may say, why? Because this week we could be having a week of mourning. But because God did not let any, this is a week of celebration and a week of life, a week of democracy and liberty. So I want to ask you on the count of three to make the noise you can and let the world know that we serve an awesome God. Are you ready? Come on, are you really ready tonight? 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. Are you ready to call on God tonight? Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts as we gather for this Republican National Convention. We thank you for this moment to seek your guidance. As I stand before you, many believe America is in trying, divisive times and has not been her best. We know this to be. We have not been steady, firm, resolute. Too many of us have forgotten how to be Americans. I see this on the south side of Chicago where I'm from. Choose to give up. Why? Because I still see the yearning fire within us to be better Americans. Lord, we ask for your divine presence to bless every heart and mind. Grant us wisdom and courage and discernment as we chart the path. May our deeds reflect your will and bring glory to your name. We pray for strength to better our individual selves so that we may bless those around us. Let us be reminded our one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father, we lift up our citizens and leaders to you. Let them be guided by your truth. May their actions honor the values upon which this great nation was founded. Let us remember the words of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like they will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Empower us to rise, persevere, and to pursue excellence. Lord, bless our great nation. from Project Hood on the south side of Chicago to all four, from the hills of West Virginia and Tennessee to Beverly Hills in California, all the way to the homies in Los Angeles and the homies on the west side of Chicago. May we renew our Americanness and strive to uphold your word. With you, things are possible. I said all things are possible. All things are possible. In your mighty and matchless name, Jesus, we pray. Let everybody say amen. God bless you and God bless America.
Delegates and alternates, ladies and gentlemen, Senator Vance, President Trump, what a night. We have heard from the best of the Republican Party, members of the House, of the Senate, governors, and candidates. But more importantly, we have heard from real Americans who understand that America needs to do better and will do better when Donald J. Trump is our 47th President of the United States. I'd like to ask every single one of you to please raise your voice in thanks to all of those real Americans who spoke tonight about their families and their world and their vision for a better America. At this time, the chair recognizes the delegate from the state of Indiana for the purpose of offering a motion.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Victor Smith from the state of Indiana. And I make the motion that the convention now adjourns.
The question now occurs on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All signify by saying no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Accordingly, this convention stands adjourned until 5:30 p.m. tomorrow.